Why is Ryanair often dubbed as the worst airline? It's a question that has left many scratching their heads. And today we're going to pick apart the puzzle piece by piece, starting with the broad strokes before we delve into the nitty-gritty details. You see, when people think about Ryanair, a myriad of complaints often flood the conversation. If we were to draw a picture, it would look like a paint-by-numbers canvas, filled with hidden charges, disappointing in-flight experiences, and a customer service department that seems to have taken a permanent vacation. Hidden charges are like the boogeyman of budget airlines, and Ryanair is no stranger to this notorious reputation. From baggage fees that might cost more than your entire holiday, to seat selection charges that leave you feeling like you're bidding in an auction, it's these unexpected costs that have led many to feel like they've been duped by the masters of the bait and switch. Then comes the in-flight experience, or perhaps we should say, the lack thereof. Ryanair's no-frills approach takes minimalism to a new level. Like a Spartan warrior, you're stripped of the usual comforts and left with a seat, a safety belt, and not much else. It's a far cry from the plush reclining chairs and complimentary cocktails you might find on more premium airlines. And finally, we have the elusive creature known as customer service. Ryanair's customer service is a bit like a mythical beast, often talked about, but rarely seen. It's the lack of this vital component that often leaves passengers feeling undervalued and unheard. But let's pause for a moment. Is it fair to label Ryanair as the worst? After all, they've been flying millions of passengers across Europe for over 3 decades. They must be doing something right? Well, the answer isn't as simple as yes or no. It's a complex issue that requires a deep dive into the world of budget airlines, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So buckle up, keep your hands inside the vehicle at all times, and join us as we embark on this journey. But is it fair to label Ryanair as the worst? Let's dive deeper. Ever booked a ticket thinking it's a steal, only to be shocked by the final price at checkout? If you've flown with Ryanair, you might be all too familiar with this scenario. Ryanair, the budget airline, has a notorious reputation for hidden charges. They've essentially turned the art of nickel and diming into a business model. It's like walking into a store, picking up a shirt with a seemingly great price tag, only to find out at the counter that buttons and threads cost extra. One of the most common surprises comes in the form of baggage fees. While you thought your ticket included at least one piece of luggage, you'll soon find out that's not the case. If you want to bring more than a small bag, you'll need to cough up some extra dough, and that's just for starters. Want to sit with your family or friends? Well, that's going to cost you as well. Seat selection isn't a courtesy with Ryanair, it's a luxury. If you don't pay up, you might end up sandwiched between 2 strangers, even if you're traveling in a group. And let's not forget about the boarding pass fee. Yes, you heard that right. If you don't print your boarding pass at home, you'll be charged a hefty fee at the airport. It's almost as if they're saying, congratulations on making it to the airport, now pay up. Now compare these practices with other airlines. Many of them include at least one checked bag, seat selection, and a printed boarding pass in their ticket prices. In the world of Ryanair, these are considered extras. It's like going to a restaurant and being charged extra for the plate and cutlery. In the end, the seemingly cheap ticket price becomes a labyrinth of additional costs, leaving you questioning if it was a bargain at all. The lure of a low price quickly fades as the true cost becomes apparent. So the cheap ticket, not so cheap after all, huh? Ever heard of luxury in the skies? Well, Ryanair is more like austerity at altitude. Now let's talk a bit about the in-flight experience on Ryanair. Picture this. You're all set for your vacation. You've managed to navigate through the labyrinth of hidden charges and you're finally on board the aircraft. You might be thinking, finally, I can relax and enjoy the flight. But, oh wait, you're on a Ryanair flight, remember? You take your seat trying to squeeze your legs into the tiny space they call legroom. It's like playing a game of Tetris, but with your body parts. If you're above average height, well, let's just say the experience might be more akin to a yoga class than a relaxing flight. But hey, at least you've got a seat, right? And you can always distract yourself with the in-flight entertainment. Oh wait, you have to pay for that too. That's right, Ryanair takes the term no frills to a whole new level. Even the basic amenities that most airlines offer for free, like a pillow or a blanket, come with a price tag on Ryanair. It's like being at a store, except you're flying 35,000 feet in the sky. And just when you think you can finally take a break, the bombardment of sales pitches begins. From scratch cards to perfume, there's nothing they won't try to sell you. It's like being at a bazaar but with less charm and more turbulence. Now let's compare this to other airlines where the in-flight experience is more about comfort and entertainment, where you can recline your seat without bumping into the person behind you. where you can watch a movie without having to swipe your credit card, and where the crew's goal is to make your flight enjoyable, not to sell you a perfume you didn't even know you wanted. So, after all this, it really makes you wonder, is the money saved worth the discomfort? Or would you rather pay a bit more for a flight that doesn't feel like an endurance test? Something to think about next time you're booking a flight. Makes you wonder, is the money saved worth the discomfort? What's worse than a bad flight? Bad customer service. Now, we've all heard horror stories about customer service, but when it comes to Ryanair, it seems that these stories are a little too common. Imagine this. You're excited for your trip, you've booked your flight, and then something unexpected happens. You need to change your flight. Simple, right? Not if you've booked with Ryanair. Customers have reported waiting on hold for hours, only to be disconnected without any resolution. And if you're lucky enough to get through, you might find yourself trapped in a labyrinth of automated messages, struggling to find a real human being. Now let's talk about refunds. In a perfect world, when a flight is canceled, the airline would automatically issue a refund. But in the world of Ryanair, refunds seem to be as elusive as a unicorn. Many customers have reported that they've struggled to get their money back, even when the cancellation was clearly the airline's fault. And then there are the questions, the simple questions that should be easy to answer, things like, how much baggage can I bring, or can I change my seat? But when it comes to Ryanair, it seems that these simple queries are met with confusion, miscommunication, and often downright dismissal. Now compare this to other airlines. Airlines that are known for their excellent customer service. Airlines that make you feel valued, that go out of their way to ensure your satisfaction. Airlines where a real live person is just a phone call away. It's a stark contrast, isn't it? The truth is, airlines are a service industry. They're in the business of making sure that their customers are happy. When you book a flight, you're not just paying for transportation. You're paying for the experience, the service, the peace of mind. And unfortunately, when it comes to Ryanair, it seems that these things are often overlooked. Airlines are a service industry after all, and service seems to be an afterthought for Ryanair. So, is Ryanair the worst airline? As we've journeyed through this video, we've explored several factors that have led many to answer this question with a resounding yes. Firstly, we delved into the world of hidden charges that accompany a Ryanair ticket. Sure, the initial ticket price may seem like a steal, but once you factor in the extra fees for luggage, seat selection, and even printing your boarding pass, the cost quickly escalates. It's like buying a hamburger for $1, only to find out the bun, patty, and condiments all cost extra. Suddenly, your dollar burger is a $5 disappointment. Then, we took off into the in-flight experience, or should we say, the lack thereof. With no complimentary snacks or drinks and seats that might make a wooden bench seem luxurious, it's clear that comfort and customer satisfaction are not top priority. Imagine being on a long-haul flight and the only beverage you get is the one you paid an arm and a leg for. It's like going to a movie theater and having to bring your own popcorn and soda. And let's not forget the paradox of Ryanair's customer service. In an industry where customer service should be paramount, Ryanair seems to have missed the memo. From unresponsive customer support to a lack of empathy for passenger grievances, it's like they're playing an elaborate game of hide and seek, but they're always hiding and never seeking. So, after weighing these points, it becomes quite clear why Ryanair has earned its not-so-flattering reputation. Yes, they offer cheap flights, but at what cost? The hidden charges, the poor in-flight experience, and the lackluster customer service all add up, leaving passengers feeling shortchanged and underwhelmed. In the end, you get what you pay for, and with Ryanair, that might not be much. So next time you see a too-good-to-be-true deal from Ryanair, remember, you may just be buying a ticket to frustration.